This is the NightWolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Super 7 ReAction Plus line Crimson Guard commanders of TOMAX and XAMOT. These are, of course, we're back to being based on the animation model, and right off the bat we can see that there's more detail on their faces than they did on CoverGirl, which is kind of a shame. The box here is designed to look like the design they used for the original figures back in the 80s, where Tomax and XAMOT were a 2-pack like this. They had the little reflective thing on the sides there, as you can kind of see, as part of the whole twins thing, with a XAMOT having a scar, which that'll be kind of an interesting thing to note here in a few moments when I compare them to the kind of original figures. But yeah, the packaging just kind of reflects what that original look was. Again, on the back of the box, it's still kind of reflecting that because they did that whole mirror reflection thing with the original ones back in the day. And we also get a file card. File name, classified. I think they're just recreating the original card. We've got names for Tomax and XAMOT, and I'm not going to lie, right off the bat, I can't remember what they actually are. Specialty, infiltration, espionage, sabotage, propaganda, and corporate law. Birthplace, island in the Mediterranean. Spell the name Tomax in capitals and hold it up to a mirror and it reads XAMOT. The same holds true for the actual brothers. Each is a mirror image of each other except for the scar on XAMOT's face. Both twins served in the Foreign Legion Paris in Algeria before the officers' putsch. They honed their mercenary skills in the bush wars of Africa and South America. They were too smart to be soldiers forever. Went to Zurich and became bankers. They quickly found the ins and outs of international finance to be too haphazard for their tastes. They preferred a situation where they could control. Cobra was willing to give them access to that control. Now they command legions, but their legions wear three-piece suits and fight their battles in executive boardrooms. These are the most fearsome of the Cobra adversaries. They don't fight with steel and claw, backed with muscle and honest sweat. They chase you with paper, wound you with your own laws, and kill you with the money you loan them. So that's fine. I did not understand half that Foreign Legion line, just saying right off the bat there. But anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can figure out how to open this sucker up. I kind of want to open this up without totally damaging everything, but I'm not sure if that's possible or not. That sticker's already coming off. I don't think it's going to be possible to preserve the box here. Oh yeah, they glued. That's because, they got double-sided tape back here. Oh, that was obnoxious. Yeah, I think any real chance of determining acting on this one just kind of went out the window. I guess we can probably save the back hard stuff here, but that's about it. Are you kidding me? You know, right now, I think I am done with Super 7. I think that was the last straw. The figures were in there. Look how small that is, that pin. You know, and after the whole fiasco with the She-Ra Power Sword, I don't want to go out and contact Big Bad Toy Store again about the figure breaking right off the bat. I mean, I guess it'll still hold in there like that. You know, this literally tells me that this figure could have been broken before it was even put in the package. But that was ridiculous. It should not have been that hard to get these figures out. But yeah, that is crap. I was really looking forward to these figures, and now this has already pissed me off. All right, so God, talk about ruining a. I'm just so irritated right now already. That just pisses me off. All right, so I guess we'll set him aside for now, XAMOT, so we can do the articulation on TOMAX, since, you know, if we do it on him, his arm's going to pop off again. Face sculpt, again, far more detailed than what they gave to CoverGirl, which is kind of BS too. Let's go ahead and cry sexism. They didn't feel like making the effort on the female figure. We'll go for that. Why not? The O-ring itself, I mean, when we look at this, the O-ring seems like it's too big in there. And that feels, yeah, that does seem kind of evident here that it's too big. I don't think it should be moving that easily. But let's look at the articulation. He just has a swivel head back and forth. Although it does pause at the point where it would if it was the combination of swivel and ball. So maybe it is. It's just that with the collar design here, it doesn't work very well. The way they did the hair over here also looks like he's wearing a pair of earrings. Arm goes up, down. As we know, the peg in there is already really small compared to the standard G.I. Joe figures. We do have a spin. We have the bicep cut. The hand has the elbow hinge. They did not paint the pegs to match, or the pins to match the suit. And these guys do not have wrist articulation. Obviously, we have the same basic O-ring swivel here. The crotch piece has the bottom part of the suit, which does look kind of awkward to me when you get right down to it, because the lineup is kind of weird. I am regretting buying these figures already. I'm not going to lie. I was really excited about them too, to be honest. We can kick forward yay far. We can kick back yay far. The O-ring allows you to do the splits. And we have a single joint in the knee to do like a 90-degree kick angle, whatever. Their suitcases, or their briefcases, have the Crimson Guard uniform. I believe we saw this once in the show where they opened up the briefcase to show the uniforms like this. Although, being that this is like, these parts are supposed to be metal, I'm not sure how they fit those in there. I mean, it's a kind of a fun little extra. It's a fun little extra when the suitcase is closed, but ultimately it's kind of a pointless item. We have kind of like the standard looking pistol for Cobra and the cartoons, and they're basically the same thing. Well, they are the same. And we can fit it in the hand just fine. Now, the interesting thing to note here, okay, so XAMOT's scar on the figure is on the right side of his face, which I believe is animation accurate, but when we bring out the original figures, or semi-original, I think that this guy was one of the reissues, actually, by XAMOT here, because he doesn't have the shoulder pauldron on his side like he should. Or because I bought this at the Chicago Toy Show, maybe the figure had broken and they replaced the arm with a broken XAMOT arm. But the paint match is actually pretty good on the joints being the same, so maybe not. Also, just to note, he's got information on his butt that I cannot read. TOMAX does not. But if you'll notice here, and it is somewhat hard to tell, the original toy scar is on the left side of his face. So that's kind of an interesting issue. And I did look it up online. I looked at the original figures, and yes, the scar was on that side of the face on the original figures. So I don't know how it got reversed in the animation. At least, like I said, when I looked it up on the animation, and the couple pictures I saw did look like it was on the left side, which is how Super 7 did theirs with his removable arm. God, that's infuriating. That really is. That pisses me off. So overall, I guess that's our look at the Crimson Guard commanders. I mean, the suits look okay. I mean, they're opposite of each other, which is what they should be. So it's not like at least they didn't just like reuse the same parts on both. The disappointing part is, of course, again, his arm broke off while taking it out of the package, or it could have been broken in the package. That's the problem. Don't know for sure. While they were a pain to get out, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I used any additional force or any more force than normal. It is just that, seriously, that is a really thin peg there. I would say that is probably about half the size of the pegs that are used in the regular figures. And I can say that pretty thoroughly because, to be perfectly honest, just before I did this review, the O-ring snapped in the XAMOT figure here, and I had to replace it on the spot with the kit I have. So here is an actual photo of the comparison of the two. I took the arm out, obviously. And actually, it looks like the peg on the Super 7 version is only a third the size of the original G.I. Joe one. And of course, you can see the huge difference in the size of the bicep as well, just as an additional note. I think this is bad. I don't even know how that bicep is supposed to fit in that suit jacket. But I think this is why it snapped, is because it was just that small. That peg was not very strong. The plastic is probably cheap. And the size, again, it looks like it's only about a third of it. That's terrible. So anyway, this is our look at the Crimson Guard commanders. I think overall, I mean, I guess they're pretty good face sculpts. They put more effort into them than they did CoverGirl. It's just that their joints are absolute garbage. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did anybody else get these figures? And did yours break so easily like mine did? I'm kind of curious. Also, just a note. These dudes are not as buff as their original counterparts. Actually, they're really scrawny compared to the originals. Now that I look at them, they are definitely really scrawny compared to the originals. You know, the originals have some pretty nice muscles going on there, and they've got some thicker thighs. These guys are pretty tiny comparison-wise. Although they have more detailed faces and heads than the originals, I think it's safe to say the overall quality is pretty awful considering that arm popped off like it did. But please, let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you guys get this? They went up special and I ordered them right away. And now I wish I hadn't. I really do. I think that arm popping off like that just ticks me off. And that makes me not want to buy any more of the Super 7 figures, honestly. I still have the comic colored bat on my pre-order. It's supposed to be, I think, in February. Maybe I'll cancel it because, God, that just pisses me off. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. Peace and love.